Hello everybody and welcome to the Cone Racing Championship Tier 2. The Cone Racing League is at Austria this time for round 8 and we are just getting ready to start Q1. Only 19 drivers today as Kyle managed to get himself a race ban. I'm not entirely sure what that is, although I can check. I think I will check. But yeah, on to qualifying. Right, championship is quite close up the top, with Dragon and Alex only 7 points apart. So very possible that Dragon can take the championship off of Alex this race. Dragon not being out the top 4 in the last 4 races, 2 thirds, a 4th and a 2nd position. So certainly picking up the season after a fairly decent but not perfect start. Okay, here we go. Anyone else going out on track? We've got a Mercedes and a Ferrari. So we'll see. Sounds like some drivers were hoping for rain, others are hoping for it to sort of be dry. So we'll see who gets their way. For the moment, looks to be a dry qualifying. And of course that can change to other sessions or into the race. And actually, I also ought to note that after the, I've got some rooting for Dragon. Dragon might be able to nab the championship lead. All he needs to do, even if he finishes 9th and Alex isn't in the points, he will jump him championship-wise. So Dragon certainly stands a very strong chance. But to do what I was saying, after what happened last week, a few new rules within the league. One of them being don't ready up before the host does to avoid a repeat of Luca dropping his controller, meaning people can't get setups, and the other one being heavily enforced don't rejoin during the formation lap. If you get kicked, suffer the consequences of your Wi-Fi. But hopefully that won't happen to anyone anyway. But for now, on board with the little one, on first man to the qualifying lap. Thought he was going to invalidate on that corner, managed not to. Two Alfa Romeos ahead of him. Probably try and get out of the way. Start of sector 3. Missed the apex there slightly. Of course, going to be getting those purple sectors. There's one Alfa. Now, drivers have also been instructed to make sure they do not cross the white line when going into the pit lane. There's a chance there'll be a few penalties for that, but the little one with a 1:04.2 and Tobes immediately 1:03.8. Alex a 1:04.3 to 3rd position. Who else do we have? 2 Alfa Romeos starting their lap. Aero Voice a 1:04.4. KXI 1:01. I'll try and hop on board with the driver on a lap. Dragon just finished with a 1:03.9 up into 2nd position. Quite hard to follow with such a short track scene. Sadistic King a 1:04.4. With Dragon up into 2nd, Real DC with a new fastest lap, a 1:03.7. Everyone's crossing the line, this is impossible to follow. Jay Hartner 1:04 flat. And then Big Balls for the next man to cross the line with a 1:04.3. Fell down the order, I want to improve that. And Captain Nick a 1:03.8. Good lap by him. Jamie Robertson will be the next man towards the line. And he's quite a slow time by him, a 1:04.5. However, his teammate Alfa's renowned for being great qualifiers here. 104.1, so fairly decent lap by him in amongst the field. Certainly the field is close together. So yeah, Jay Williams into the pit lane. The other drivers on board. Clerpiard looks like he's going to improve his lap by a tenth and a half. And he does, up to third, a 103.8 for him. So Sprunky just leaving the pits. Pimis yet to leave the pit lane. Of course, still 13 minutes left to go. So Jamie Robertson going to be on an in lap for him. I'll hop on board with that Ferrari he was alongside. No, Tobes. Actually, Tobes also getting into the pit lane. See, Captain Nick might be going for another lap. Such short qualifying laps. So many drivers out on track at once. No, he'll be on an in lap. Can we find anyone on a speedy qualifying lap? Maybe Jamie Robertson. He's got plenty of VRS and he's got enough fuel, so we might see a lap by him here. Certainly quite easy for him to improve. We know he's a quick qualifier. It might not have improved in the first sector, but of course that is essentially just one corner. Now with the clouds, it is possible it's going to be raining. I personally can't see when it does or not, from the spectator's point of view. If the drivers can see that it's due to rain, they want to get the laps in as quick as possible, which will explain the manic start to the session. And 8 tenths up for him, purple middle sector. 8 tenths are putting him in, maybe up to the front even, despite a slower first sector. So must have had a pretty slow middle last sector before. See what he can do with the last sector. Doesn't invalidate his lap, and he's going to come across the line with a time of 103.7 up into second. About 15 thousandths down off real DC. That is a good lap by him, and that is a safe lap by him. Now Alex looks like he might be onto a flying lap here. 10th up already. 10th matters quite a bit. Here's most of the field in very low or high 103.9s. Extraordinarily close so far. One mistake does look like it will cost you massively around this track. Hopefully Jamie Robson doesn't get in the way. He's not doing a great job of moving out of the way. Ooh. I'm not sure if he did get in the way, but it certainly gave some dirty air to Alex, and he won't be too happy about that. Due to improve his lap, but I'm not sure how much improvement he will get from that. Might only see him gain 1 or 2 positions max. In an ideal world, we'd be looking to do better. Our current championship leader, 104 flat up into 11th, just behind his teammate. Did gain multiple positions there. Now Pimis, the last man. Actually, no, both him and Sprunky get to set a lap, but one of the last men to set laps. Really see happy with his lap, retiring from the session. Despite only being 7 tenths ahead of last now, we can see light drops of rain starting to fall. My eyes, yep, definitely. Rain starting to get heavy. So Pimis may have left this too late. He is on the lap. Now Sprunky still has an entire outlap to do and more. So that man will likely not be making it through. Some of the more drivers up front also retiring. Unless you're on a lap right now, the chance of improving is dwindling quickly. But we'll see. Doesn't look like it's affecting him too much yet. It's hard to tell. Pimis. A 104.3, no, it's not enough to get him through into Q2. It's unlikely he'll be able to improve that lap. This may already be our bottom 5. Sprunky, too quick through the last corner, bad exit onto the front straight, and actually invalidated it there, so this lap won't even count. It means he'll have even heavier rain when he gets round to a good lap. Godly knew one of the men who wanted rain in this race, retiring from the session. Jay Williams accepting his fate. Now there is a small chance we'll see improvements, but very unlikely. Like the majority of drivers in the pits. Surprised not many of them using this for some cheeky wet weather practice. No, you can't do it on... I guess they could switch to inters. A couple of people running out of fuel. Now this might be the quickest Q1 I've ever seen. Sprunky now starting his first lap. So I'll watch this man. Now he'll be hoping to gain even one position here. Will only be one driver starting on the back row. But of course, this track, having 3 big straights and then a technical section where it's quite tricky to pass. Gonna get stuck in DRS trains. Yeah, the only man currently out on track here. The vast majority of drivers retired. Pimis, the only other driver other than Sprunky in the bottom 5 to not just accept his fate. Be hoping to see the rain calm down, and actually looks like it might be calming down a little bit. Pimis is going out on track now. Oh, and Sprunky invalidates his lap. He's going to have to go around again. I'm not sure if he has the fuel to do it. He's certainly driving like he does. Looks like some drivers are hanging on, still looking to improve. We'll see Dragon staying well out of the way here. Does not want to cause a similar problem that someone calls for Alex. Can't remember which driver that was. Well, Alex with a very safe time. Nice and high up the order for him. So we'll see what Sprunky can get. Can he avoid invalidating this time? Yes, he has. Maybe a bit slower at the last corner, but yeah, no. Oh, he's run out of fuel. Yeah, as expected, a 109.4. Not enough fuel to finish off that lap. Now he's going to be going slowly around the rest. Now, I will quickly change it to intervals so we can see just how close the drivers were. Half a second was not enough to make it through. On a track with this many straights, that's not too much of a surprise. So yeah, Pimis managed to invalidate his lap. Going to be tricky to improve though, even if he doesn't. But this might give you an idea of pace for some drivers. Now it's possible some people caught out, just 3 drivers still in the session. Ooh, yeah, there we go. That's just how slidey it is in the rain. Well, that's an example of how you're supposed to enter the pits. Oh, someone had a bit of a wheel spin there. So hopefully the leather one and Pimis will retire. I think the leather one is certainly safe. Pimis I can understand, trying to wait for it to be lighter rain, but not sure that is going to happen. But we'll see if the rain continues on to the other sessions. There we go, just 3 drivers left, all just chilling in the pit lane at the moment. So apparently Pheasant Plucker in 7th, the slowest middle sector on track. Don't know if that's out of date information, but don't think he's set a lap since he said that. This is a close grid. Even with some times done on rain, yeah. 18 drivers within 7/10. That's what we like to see. There's 2 drivers left. Holden out. DRS now fully disabled. The rain's not getting any lighter. Game knows it. So just one last man. Will he save us 3 minutes of waiting? Is he going out on track? No. What's happening? He is going out on track. Interesting. Right, well, I guess we're going to have to watch him drive around for about 3 minutes. I'm not too sure what he's doing. Ah, there we go. So watching the drivers start to complain. Godly noob with it finally. Glad it's over. So here we go. Our bottom 5, some of which were caught quite unlucky with that rain. Or bottom 4, I should say. Only 19 drivers today. Sprunky, Sadistic King, Airvoice and Pimis. And of course the rest of the drivers getting through, all very close together. But no drivers with identical times. At least not yet. But anyway, on to Q2. We'll see if the rain continues. We're going to have a more rainy session. Rainy from start to finish and not with a quick dry bit at the start. Right, it looks like we're going to have a whole rainy session. Yep, everyone on Inters at the moment. See if anyone's going to go out yet. Now, if the rain is due to get heavier, there will be another mad rush. That's one driver. Toad's going out immediately. Man, he always seems to like going out as soon as he can. Can't see any movement in the garage, so I'm relying on what gear they're in. So, let's see. I'll have a quick look through the rest of the field. Captain Nick, Pheasant Plucker, Jay Hartnell, Daru. Actually, quite a lot of them are going out, but Tobe's the first man out on track. So here we go. Now this will be a more interesting session. Drivers will have to be careful not to retire during the qualifying. You do not want to crash into the wall, although not many walls too close to the track. Plenty easy to invalidate your lap though here. It's how late can you brake, how close to the lines can you get around this track, and in the rain it's going to be that much harder to find the margins. So yeah, the entire field has gone out of track, which tells me the rain is due to get heavier. But we'll see. Toad for the last few corners now. And the man can almost guarantee a clear track ahead of him. No one can come out of the pits. And if everyone's trying to get to the line as quickly as they can, then I'm going to have a load of fun trying to track who sets what times if they're that close together. I may only be able to call out the quickest and the slowest times. But yeah. Watch Toves now. Expect these times to be much slower. Maybe 110s. Maybe slightly slower than that even. Oh, and that is... Who's that? KXI. He's taking a spin around the last corner. Oh no, if I was in his position, I guess maybe he shouldn't reverse around the track. There's other drivers out on the track. Now, Dragon actually went straight back into the pits, as did Jamie Robertson. Now, if they switched, I'll put it on fitted for the moment. They are still on the inters, they should not have to their lap yet. Interesting. Went for an outlap and came back in. Tomes to be our first man. It looks like my 110 was completely off. Toes to the 112.5. Captain Nick with the next man. Looks like he's going to slightly better. Never mind, a 112.6. Jay Williams a 112.9. Deru a 112.9 also. Jay Hartnell a 112.9 also. Real DC a 113.1. Pheasant Plucker the next man a 113.4. Alex up into second with a 112.5. Pheasant Plucker 113.4. I think that was the two McLarens, but the little one with a 112.6. Fairly quick lap by him. Looks like there's a slow Red Bull on track somewhere. Did not see who just said a lap. Although I think it was KXI with the one. KXI and Jay Hartner, one of the racing points. Godly Noob now with a 113.8. I'll see if Tobes is going round to improve. Definitely won't be this lap. How about Captain Nick? Now he is looking to improve and he might be looking to nab the front spot in this session. And I'll check, I can't actually remember who won last week. It was Real DC who won last week, with Dragon and Big Balls taking the second and third spots. Yep, there we go, Captain Nick straight up to the front. 112.5 for him. See if anyone else can beat that. Deru up into fourth position. Looks like drivers generally seem to be speeding up. Yeah, only 12 drivers finished last week, which is interesting considering the top 15 get points. Alex and DC and Club PR all topping Captain Nick when I wasn't watching. And Big Balls also looks like he might be challenging for some of those times. I'd guess second, third or fourth. Big Balls 112.4 into fourth position for him, 1,000th of a second behind Club PR. And Godly Noob up to the front, our first sub 112 time. Right, let's try and get on board with someone going quick. Club PR still going around, 3,000 slower than his lap. Plenty of room to improve then. Actually, follow Dragon, one of the men yet to set a lap. Is that one of the racing points and one of the AlphaTauris maybe about to improve? Jay Hartnell, small improvement up to a 112.6. Plenty of other drivers into the pit lane. Club PR going to cross the line again. Will he improve? He does, up into second to 112.2. I believe Williams improved, but I couldn't see. Dragon with the slowest time yet, 116.5. Definitely looking to improve that. How about Jamie Robertson? The last man to set his first lap, 115 flat. Seems the intermediate's taken a while to get the tyre activated. A Godly Noob into the pits with a little bit of floor mowing going on. Tobe's about to start his lap. So they're actually pretty close times among the top 10. Bit of a gap once you start to get further down the order, and certainly the last two quite far off the rest. Jamie Robertson half a second up at the moment. We're wanting to get a good last sector here. But he needs 1.8 seconds to even move up in position. So I don't know what mistake it was last time that cost him. There we go, up into 12th position. Not ideal, but certainly gained some time where he needed it. And Dragon, no, who was that who overtook him? Someone moved up the order, I believe it was KXI. The little one not improving that lap. 1,000th of his previous time, if I read the board correctly. Captain Nick still wanting to improve. Once the quickest time, now all the way down to 7th. Stay on board for him for this lap. Certainly seems to be a timed lap. Purple first sector, nearly a 10th up. It's a good start to his lap. Now we'll see if Daru will improve his lap. Keep an eye on his time now. And he does improve. Daru up to 3rd with a 1:12.2. Who else do we have? Tobes crossed the line. No. Tobes has crashed. No, he hasn't. That's the wrong Ferrari. It's Pheasant Plucker that's crashed. Didn't seem to cause too many problems there. Certainly not ideal for himself. Still has his whole front wing. We'll hop back aboard with Captain Nick as he's about to finish his lap. Slow time by him, must have made a mistake somewhere. 1:13.8. Slower than all the times on the board currently. Now Real DC, it looked like he was going to be improving there, assuming the time it gave was correct. Alex with a new fastest lap, the second sub 12 for 1:11.9. 12 thousandths quicker than Godly Noob. It's the stuff we expect to see from our current championship leader. Seems also good in the rain. So Real DC crossed the line with a 1:12.4, slight improvement, not enough to gain in position. Seems most drivers do better on their second lap or third on the inters, so we'll see. Oh, who was that? Clerpiard going for a spin. I need to watch out for his teammate. Next in the pits, but there we go. Got himself back onto the track. Is that a spun Ferrari? No, just a slow Ferrari. Hurts to say that. Now, is this the Alphas trying to give each other slipstream in the rain? Now, this could be interesting. Get a first-hand view of what it's like driving behind another car here. Not quite full on cockpit cam. This might be the lap Godly Noob needs to improve, although not an ideal first corner for him. Jay Williams forcing him off the dry part of the track. 10th down in the first sector. I believe Ferrari just improved. I think it was Pheasant Plucker up into 5th. Now Captain Nick is the man on the chopping block. If he does not improve, the next to go. Tobes we're looking to improve. And Jay Hartnell looks like he's about to improve. Slow red ball somewhere. That Dragon. I think he's just moving out of the way with other people. Who is it I said was going to follow? Jay Hartnell. Here we go. The man's going to come across the line with a 1:12.4 up into 10th, pushing Captain Nick down at bottom 5. Tobes 3/10 up, 3/10 is looking to be around 8th position, maybe 9th, maybe slightly higher. There's a group of them from 5th down to 8th, not much between them. We'll see where he ends up on the order. And it's 9th at 1:12.3. I believe that's the Real DC, just had a good lap, improved up to 3rd. Oh, and Godly Noob's taking an interesting line there. I think moving out of the way, Jay Williams getting a bit of grass on his tyres in the process. I'll stick it on best and see. Generally it seems to be there isn't really much of a pattern as to what tyres are working. A lot of the quickest times are on 3rd lap old inters. There's some that are 5 laps old when they were done, and others that are only 1 lap old. Now, less than 2 minutes left of the session. As Alex improves his fastest lap, now 55 thousandths ahead of Godly Noob. He's just having a little nap on the track, letting drivers through. Perhaps waiting for a gap. As Captain Nick goes past. Now I suspect, yep, pulling onto the racing line, ready to start his next flying lap attempt in clean air. And we're already happy with his lap, he's retired. Oh, is that pheasant plucker? That is not an ideal place to be stopped on track, and that's caused Godly Noob to crash. It looked like he was in the wall and got reset onto the track. Didn't not have time to move before Godly Noob got there. Hopefully we don't see any bump carts here, but Godly Noob... yeah, it looked like he was showing how unhappy he was, but not throwing in the actual punches. Now, of course, these guys not going to have time to go around again. And, of course, these laps weren't improved, so they are set in their position. Big Paul's may make it to the line, but I think he's safe with his time at the moment. Happily going into the pits. So that finishes his qualifying. Godly Noob's not going to improve. That's the top 4 will not be improving. The little one looks like he might be. Who else do we have? The bottom 2, Jamie Robertson, a good qualifier. Guess not a Rain Man. And Jay Williams will not be advancing to Q3. The little one does not improve his lap there. Jay Hartnell looks like it's unlikely he will. Tobes won't. Daru now won't. Like made a mistake somewhere. Clerpiar. No improvement by him. KXI maybe. It will only be a place or 2. I don't believe he has a chance to get through to Q3. Yep, jumps Captain Nick. Captain Nick with a slow first sector. We'll see if he can improve. Man's quite low on fuel. Now that'll work with him being a lighter car, but not if he runs out of fuel before the line. Now nearly 3/10 down this quickest lap. Unless he pulls something mighty in the last sector, he will not be advancing to Q3. So there we go, that looks like it concludes Q2. Very rainy session. Some drivers doing better than others. So actually really not much between them again. Very close among the top guys. It's only once you go, yeah, from 13th to 1st. Not much time at all further down. The last 2 drivers bit off the rest of the pack, but quite close together themselves. So we'll see how this goes. Many drivers declaring their hate for rain. So on to Q3, will the rain continue? Or will the sun put its hat on? We will see. No, more rain, more downpour. I'm surprised the drivers aren't sick of it by this point. But some of them certainly seem to be. Rain seems to be quite a Marmite condition in F1 races. Some drivers love it, others absolutely hate it. So the little one leaving the pit lane. Anyone else? There is a car there. Golly noob. Who else? Quite a few others sticking their heads out now. So we'll see, down to the top 10. Now this time, not just about getting through, but getting the best position you can. So we'll see what drivers can lock in for themselves. Seems to be raining men, cats and dogs at the moment. We'll see if it calms down throughout this session. Maybe, maybe not. Then the race, certainly possible. We'll see some rain in there. Now, two championship front runners made it through to this far. So as of yet, no clear sign as to who's going to come out on top after this race. It is quite a close battle for third in the title. Golly Noob and Tobes, who are both still in this session, 5 points between them. And actually, the battle for fifth is so close that there are two drivers in fifth position, both Odyssey and the little one, driver we're currently on board with, and both of them have made it through. So actually, looking at the top 10 drivers championship-wise, the top 6, 8th. Actually, the top 6th and 8th are all in this session. So only 3 out of 10 of the drivers at the front of the championship have not made it through. This goes to show consistency, certainly. But some drivers are just not built to drive in the rain, especially if they've got no traction control and no setup for it. All drivers out on track at the moment. The little one doing the first man to set his lap, yet to invalidate. So comes around the last corner. Easy place to invalidate if you're too greedy. But he comes across the line with a 1:12.3. Now unless it's raining heavier, that lap will need to be improved. Tobes will be the second man to cross the line. And he gets a 1:12.9. How about Godly Noob then? 1:11.9, similar to what he was getting in the previous session. Big Balls a 1:12.2. And Real DC with a 1:12.2 also. Just behind. How about Dragon then? Dragon a 1:12.6. A bit further down the field. Alex, the championship leader. He gets a 1:12.1 up into second position for him. Jay Hartnell 1:12.9 so far. That provisional pole still with Godly Noob. DeRue a 1:12.4. There we go, not a single driver invalidated their first lap. Less than a second separating them at the moment. Godly Noob is typically amazing at qualifying. So we'll be looking at into the pit lane for that for our McLaren, and also with Tobes and Godly Noob. Not for Big Balls. We'll see is into the pit lane as he's not Dragon, sorry. So they were asking some improvements out on track. DeRue is 2.5 up. Well, we're now half a second up. I meant a 10.5 up, by the way, but no, half a second up for DeRue. This man could be challenging up front as long as he doesn't run out of fuel. There we go, up into third for him, just behind his teammate. 1,000th behind. Sorry, 100th behind. So half the field are now in the pit lane. So Big Balls, can he improve? He does. Oh, fastest lap, a 1:11.8. Straight to the front for him. Dragging into the pit lane. Oh, fighting his car there, but manages to keep it on the road. Now Jay Hartnell looks like he'll be improving. But might only gain one position jumping Dragon in here. Yep, just the one. But any position is good to gain. Which car's that? That was the Williams into the pit lane. And the drivers have been instructed to enter the pit lane properly, so if anyone gets caught not doing it on the stream, I will probably laugh because of how blatantly they've been caught. So Big Balls clearly not going for another lap, 2.5 down. Suspect we'll see him pull into the pits. If we're being really picky, that was an illegal pit entry. His tyre was just over the line, but clearly wasn't to gain anything, as it's just in the qualifying. So who is that? That is, yeah, the Williams and Jay Hartnell. The most illegal pit entry you've ever seen. Guts across the Astro and the grass. I don't think stewards care too much during qualifying, although I don't know what stance they're going to take for that one. But Tobe's the only man currently on a lap. Clattered over the first curb, thought it was going to be invalidated. Must have been right on the limit. Two-tenths up in the first sector. Now, that is already looking for some good improvement by him. Keep up that improvement, that'll put him around 5th or 6th position. So clear track ahead of him. Let's see what he's done with this sector. There we go, now nearly 8/10 improvement. Looking at likely being in the top 5 positions now. If you can get a good last sector to go alongside the rest of this lap, you will be happy with that. Now look to be decent. See what his time is when he crosses the line. It's a 1:11.9 up into 2nd position for him. Now that will be a lap he's happy with, onto the front row. Big Balls leaving the pit lane. An army of umbrellas in the grandstands. Ollie Noob now starting a quicker lap. We already see we may see some small improvement, but he needs a couple tenths to gain a position here. There we go, improvement, but not a position gain. Just helping secure his position from the drivers behind him. And with the little one looking to improve, having that extra gap will come in handy. So around the last couple of corners, I believe Dragon just improved. Up into 7th for him. The little one stays 9th despite that improvement. There we go, I said it would matter, and 3,000s certainly did come into play there. Now again, most drivers are out on the track. Big Balls getting ready to start his lap. Now this time more of the best laps were set on only 1 lap old tyres. Oh, but golly, Noob with a 1:11.5. And that puts him onto provisional pole with a very quick time. Quite far ahead of the rest of the field, all things considered. Real DC not improving on that lap. Might see it on the next lap. We've got a Williams off the track. Now hopefully it doesn't block the dry part of the track. No, not quite. Must have made a mistake in the last sector. Where's that man? Looked like he was improving just by the time it said. The little one, will he improve? Does not need much improvement. Oh, and there we go. 25 thousandths, but it's enough to gain in that position up into 8th, the little one. Okay. Qualifying starting to come to a close. Not much left. Alex unlikely to improve. No improvement there. How about Big Bulls? Improves, doesn't gain a position. Golly Noob with an absolute blistering lap. 1:11.4. Wow. Okay. The man is miles ahead of the rest of the field. And is that right? Yeah. So unlikely to see that lap beaten. If anyone can do it, Alex. Don't know what Alex is like in the rain. Golly Noob said he wanted it to rain, and already one of the quickest qualifiers. I guess the combination of him being a rain man and it being qualified means he's just ahead of the rest of the field, quite simply skill-wise. Alex 2000ths. Oh, now seeing this is exactly the same time as Pheasant Pluck at the moment. Oh, now that would have made a difference. That invalidation means he will not be able to gain 4th position. And he will be annoyed by that. So how about the rest of the field? Who's going to be the next man to cross the line? A bit of side-by-side. Big Balls and Golly Noob. Our two fastest drivers. They both come into the pit lane. But hopping aboard with Real DC as he comes towards the line. Now he's looking to improve. Considering where he is amongst the other drivers, he might gain many positions here. Just the one. Up to 7th position for him. Now Dragon, the last man with a chance to improve, and it looks like he has 2/10. Oh, he's out of fuel. Now that is a shame, because with 2/10 in his position, he was looking at a top 5 position. Maybe even onto 3rd. But that concludes the end to Q3. And onto the Austrian Grand Prix around Red Bull Ring. Here we go, you can see our results, very close amongst these drivers. From 2nd all the way down to what? 12th, not much between any of them. Golly Noob miles ahead of the rest of the field, and to be fair, Jay Hartnell only 1/4 of a second behind the little one, really not that far between them. But an amazing lap by Golly Noob in the rain here, that qualifying session. So it does look like if it does rain, he'll have a very, very big advantage over the rest of the field. Currently 3rd in the championship. Might seem close on the two leaders, Dragon and Alex. Now, he actually can't lead the championship after this race. He can jump into 2nd, but he will have... Will he have to win? He will have to win. Dragon have to... Fairly low score, even 2nd is not enough. So here we go, it looks like we've got a dry track. Here we go, driver's told not to press that ready button. So Sadistic King is not the first man with a tick by his name. Someone is getting in trouble. I don't want a repeat of last week wherever we want. Well, lots of drivers did not have the setup they wanted. Someone with a Monza setup round Spa. Don't need to be a genius to figure out that's just not going to work great in Sector 2. But yeah, no, well done to Golden Noob for that lap. And actually well done to all 10 drivers for all getting your first lap validated into the end. None of them being particularly slow either. So we'll see what the race will turn out for this. This isn't Codemasters, this is just drivers not yet readying up, doing as they're told. Hopefully there isn't the Codemasters' usual bug of everyone being ghosted. I think that's more down to when someone rejoins during the formation lap. We'll see, hopefully it works. But it can be quite annoying to see the entire scoreboard with completely the wrong names at the start. One of the best parts of the race, don't even know what's happening. There we go, Sadistic King readied up, and now the drivers will probably very promptly do so as well. There we go. Hopefully no problems. It's Jamie Robson and it's the last man. There we go. Looks like all's going smoothly so far on the technical front. But let's hope commentator's curse does not affect that. So yeah, you can see the strategy here. Mainly the drivers going for mediums because the people out front smart to go onto softs, pull away from the rest of the field. Interesting choice by Tobes then. And so far up the field it may make sense to be part of that runaway team. Dragon will be hoping to get past the two Williams, same with Will DC as quickly as he can. Yeah, the formation lap and then the race will be underway. Looking around from here, it's not looking too likely there'll be any rain throughout the race, so Golden Noob will not have that advantage. There's a bit of a cloud over there on the right. I'm not sure that will be anything more than just a bit of shade. So our championship leader starting in 5th, man in 2nd, in 8th position. We'll see where they finish. Dragon on a very good streak of races. In fact, the last 4 races always been in fact the last 5 races he's always been improving. The last 4 races he's always been in the top 4. 4th at Baku, 3rd at Singapore, 3rd at Interlagos, and last week is 2nd around Spa. So we'll see. So the drivers now pulling into their grid boxes and getting ready to start the race. And just a reminder for anyone wondering why there's only 19 drivers, Kyle in the Haas had a race ban, so he's not able to get a reserve. There we go, the last man. So Golden Noob now. And that's lights out, and already Captain Nick drive-through penalty for a jump start. Codemasters has done their usual thing of bugging out. It appears only 2 drivers have done so. So just treat Spunky and Sadistic King as the last 2 drivers. Everyone else just add 2 to their position. We'll see what happens into this turn. Certainly plenty of going wide. The 2 Ferraris not knocked off the rear wings we've seen in the past. So there we go. No, the order is actually very broken. No, it's just showing me a driver I'm not actually on board with. The order now looks like it might be correct. Sadistic King is at the back of the pack then. Yep, I believe the order at the moment. Plenty of close racing. Now De Roux already down 2 positions. Captain Nick up 4 positions. And into the pit lane. Oh, he's doing his drive-through now. That might be a smart decision. There's a safety car. That would definitely be a smart decision. Oh. Ah. Now the order's messed up. Okay. Right. Alex and Real DC it then. Gonna be honest, I don't race enough to know when you have to serve your drive-throughs for jumping the start. So the top two already starting to put a bit of a gap to the rest of the field. Hard to see what that gap is at 1.3 seconds, assuming you believe that. Actually, that definitely isn't true. To be fair, that is about a 1.5 gap. But the interval's currently not showing the correct times. Oh, and that is now for Romeo. That is Jamie Robertson. That is a piece of his front wing there. As his teammate goes on to get the fastest lap. Now he will almost certainly be going into the pit lane as well. There were 3 Italian Grand Prix last year. Mugello, of course Monza, and Imola. So I'm not sure which one you're referring to because I can't actually remember. Two McLarens side by side into this corner. Oh, that was interesting. Showed a little bit of ghosting. Oh, I can't remember what track that was at. They all had funny names last year. Just call them the name of the track. Make it easy on us. Stake there by the little one. KXI might take advantage of that, and I think he will. Yep, the little one forced to yield that position. Too dangerous to fight it this early on in the race. Now Dragon can very comfy through the curve there. Drivers seem to know what they can and can't do without getting a penalty. Pheasant Plucker right behind his teammate. I'm not too sure if these guys are working together. Oh yeah, no, it was Monza, because there was the pit lanes closed, and then he entered the pit lane despite it being closed, and yeah. I can't remember who the other driver was who did the same thing. Anyway, Alex side by side with Dragon. Now, this is important because these two are the two leading the championship. Who do you see right behind the two Ferraris? A mistake by Tobes. He's taken advantage of it. However, Tobes, no, not able to get a cutback. The driver's very quickly gone through the ARS, although Dragon more than Alex. Probably should have waited though for this next straight before going for a move. So we can see here at the top 2 or 3 drivers starting to pull away. I'll stick it onto tyre compound so we can see the top 4 drivers all on the soft. So there was an overtake behind Clopr getting past the route. Jamie Robertson onto the hard tyres as well as Pimis. Didn't see that because there was some position change. So I wonder if they'll try and go to the end or not. Seems there's this train for 3rd position at the moment. Pheasant Plucker not able to pull away from Real DC. Tobe's doing a good job of keeping up that harder compound. Well, Mercedes were definitely sandbagging in my opinion, but it's a question of how much. It's hard to fake the spins that Lewis was doing, but I think he's a good enough driver to do it, so. I don't know, I reckon it will still be an easy Lewis Championship. Might want to give him the trophy now. Verstappen stands a chance. The problem is that both him and Perez will be competitive, so a few races where Red Bull are better, they'll be sharing it. So constructors-wise, Red Bull are better off, but aiming for the individual drivers' championship-wise, maybe not so much. So Error Voice gets past Jay Hartnell. This battle might be joined by Sadistic King behind them. Pop back up, Real DC, still right on the tail of Pheasant Block, and it looks like either Big Balls are starting pulling off some amazing laps, or golly, Noob made a mistake. Is that, last I checked, that gap was significantly more than the second. So KXI now behind Daru. Same as ERS, in fact a very healthy amount of ERS, sorry. Daru going wide, that's a virtual safety car. Now who is that for? Not sure. Really not sure. Suspect. Right, well Dragon's given a 5-second penalty for passing Big Balls, and Big Balls has absolutely no front wing. So I assume that was what the incident was. Now, is Dragon going to give the position back? I don't know if he has to now, he's got that 5-second penalty. Ooh, Pheasant Blacker caught out by the VSC. And that puts Godly Noob in a good position. And miles ahead, somehow he's gained time. Oh no, it's Big Balls he gained time on. Big Balls down to 10th. Ooh. I think the man can be excused again slightly over the line there, as he had to speed up to not hit anyone. Oh, very close between these three. KXI sensibly lifting, very much playing the long game with his ERS that high compared to the rest of the drivers. Doesn't have to worry about defending, but gets a good view of the overtake ahead. Clopr trying to go around the outside of Daru. And he's done it. Oh, wow. KXI also going around the outside. Now that was not something I was expecting. Is KXI going to try and make it 2? Alex back past Dragon, although Dragon gets the cutback, and it seems... Is he going to get that position? Ooh. Side by side, these two. Where's side? That side. Dragon pulling out ahead, of course, with this soft tyres, has the advantage. Was on the outside for a lot of that, but of course now can just pull ahead. Needs to try and escape that DRS though. Can't afford to fight for him for too long. Needs to pull away, use the soft tyres to his advantage. And work off that 5-second gap he's going to need. Tobes past. In fact, Tobes and Real DC must be side by side. They keep switching positions on the scoreboard. Okay, so not able to make a move on Clopr. Oh, well, they really are right side by side. Tobes holding it around the outside. Real DC not pulling the Hamilton and murdering him. But Tobes slotting in behind. Of course, Tobes here does have the tyre advantage. Sorry, Real DC here does have the tyre advantage. Now Daru closing this gap down to KXI after that great overtaking to turn 3. Not close enough, perhaps a bit deep there. Slow exit because of it. KXI still with a healthy ERS. Oh no, that was a bit close there by Pheasant Plucker. Has to go further into the corner to avoid going to the back of Jay Hartnell. Luckily he realised what was going to happen, prevented any incident being caused. Duru in the little one, side by side. Would have lawn mown there by the Williams. And there we go, the little one going around the outside and getting ahead. Now Golly New built that 3.5 second gap to Real DC now. After big balls, whatever happened to him. It may have been a collision between the top two, not entirely sure. Forced to brake nice and early to avoid going to the back of them. Ooh! Now, was he assisted around there? Because he will not be a happy driver. There's a little shunt there. Don't think there was. Hard to say. And for anyone interested, it sounds like De Will has not made it through to Q3, which for him is very rare. But I think he said it was his first time not making it to Q3. Pheasant Plucker with a 3-second penalty. These gaps starting to increase a bit. Now Tobe still keeping up with Real DC. Because as the soft tyres start to degrade more, it becomes easier for Tobes. So it becomes easier for Tobes, harder for Real DC to stay ahead. Not sure when these guys will be pitting. Golly Noom getting close to lapping his teammate. Now, are we going to see him come into the pit lane? Judging by where his car is, not this lap. Same for Real DC. Third into the race at the moment. Now it's a battle going down for 17th at the moment between these two. Always nice to see battles throughout the entire field. We'll hop on board with this three-way battle. Pheasant Plucker might have made a mistake somewhere. Looked like he did just drop 2 positions. Of course, being on the old softs, more prone to make them. Now that was very, very... Ooh, that was very good until he spun, actually. I was going to say that was very opportunist, but actually he made it work. But then got on power slightly too soon, its tyres not having the grip they once had as fresh softs, and thus loses some time. It was incredible while it lasted. So how are we looking? Captain Nick in 15th after his drive-through. Something I want to be trying to gain more of that back. And this looks like it might be an overtake done. Looking for the cutback, can't get his foot down soon enough, and Tobes pulls away. That's him up to 2nd position. Oh, but Tobes was out of ERS. Now side by side. And all this allowing Dragon to catch up with the 2 of them. Now, are we going to see Golly New pit? Still not yet. How about Tobes? Oh, now Real DC is pitting now. Well, yeah, that's going to be quite dangerous actually, isn't it? The driver in front of you is pitting. You cannot fully take the racing line. Drivers have to watch out for that. There's two of the drivers on the soft tyres pitting. Now, what are they pitting for? One of them went on to mediums. Both went onto some fresh mediums. A bit of contact. Not sure if KXI will be happy with that. Didn't seem too bad as an overtake. And now the other McLaren ganging up on him as well. Okay, now that was a bit less acceptable of an overtake. Now the little one looking for his next car to overtake. Hopefully not another man. He squeezes wide. No Clopio with a very good couple of corners there. Brings that gap to half a second. Now Golding Nubar, leader, pitting. Dragging the last man out on the softs. Now, how aggressively is he going to have to defend this lap? He's obviously going to want to do everything he can to stop Alex getting through. If he's thinking about the title, I suspect he will be, then he's going to be doing everything he can to slow Alex down. Not going to try to fight other people too much. So actually, yeah, Dragonstone plenty ahead, but of course is into the pit lane. Now if he's really cheeky, he could have gone deliberately slow through those corners, forcing Alex to slow down, but these drivers, very courteous, mostly don't try devious tactics like that. Don't think I've seen dubious. I'll learn to speak one day. The two McLarens fighting, and KXI right behind them. Bit of a four-man chain here. Now from KXI's view, Clopio tries to get around the outside, doesn't have enough room. Slots in behind and now threatened from behind. Although hard to pass around these two sweeping corners. Oh, now gaining here. That's not sure what he was doing there. Right, now that was a yellow flag, and that is a racing point of Jay Hartnell, and that is a piece of front wing. Ooh. I understand he wanted to go into the pit lane, but that was a bit dodgy. Dragon luckily going around him. Now Dragon has served his 5 second in the pit lane. I'm not sure what Jay Hartnell's doing. The man really should be pitting. There were better ways to go about that, but he didn't gain any time from it, so I don't think it caused any other problems for drivers either. KXI is still trying to get past the two McLarens, sending one deep, looking for the cutback. Not going to happen just yet. Little one holding his ground, parking it on the apex. Definitely be safe around this corner. Just take the quickest line you can. Maybe a bit too quick through there. Gets on the curb, unsettles the car. Asks KXI to gain quite rapidly on him. Forcing him around the outside now. Takes the opportunity with both arms, goes around the outside, receives 3 seconds of penalties for going over the curb. Should have been more careful there. And that's probably net loss for KXI despite gaining that position. Golly Noob sets the fastest lap from down in 8th position. Of course, that man probably will not have to pit again. VLDC past the District King. Just missed the overtake, but can see him staying ahead. Now, very different age tyres, 15 lap difference between these two tyres. You can see it by how quickly the power can get down compared as Jay Hartnell, man down at the back of the grid. How far off is he? Not sure if that's deliberate or not, but we're not going on board with him if it's going to do that glitch. Jay Hartnell is quite far behind. Nearly risk getting lapped by Tobes. Currently our lead man. Interesting interpretation of the white lines. There's Clerpiart and Kexite fight on. Clerpiart perhaps brakes a bit late. Oh, but Kexite had a great line for a fast exit. But then didn't pull over to the left when he should have. He started turning too early. Could have been looking to overtake him here, but instead can't. Now we're hoping to get past him in the pit lane. And of course the two McLarens right next to each other are likely very conscious that they don't want to mess each other up if you're double stacking. So we'll see where these two come out compared to the McLaren. If the little one might be able to get the undercut done. Looks like Golden Noob currently net P1. Oh, now Clerpiart staying out on track. Okay, excited into the pit lane. It's just Tobes and Clerpiart. Other people, not many left to not pit. Error Voice, another man not yet pit. But Godly Noob ahead of him despite that fact. Some of these drivers started on the mediums, now going on to softs. Alex, now this is an important one. Alex, I'm not sure he's going to stay ahead of Dragon. Despite Dragon serving that 5 second in the pit lane. No, he does stay ahead. It's going to be hard for Dragon to keep up. Although once the softs are 15-16 laps old, then it'll be to his advantage. Oh, like Jay Williams actually could have asserted himself a bit more. Very passive there. Sorry, could have been far more aggressive. Gone for the move. Sorry, apologies for that. This headset doesn't have a way to mute. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. Okay, further down the field, Pimish looking to get past Sprunky. And also Jay Williams right in his tail, a three-way battle here for 15th. Fighting for that last point available. As Captain Nick now gets the fastest lap, down in 13th position. A whole host of new drivers now on fresh softs, and we're going to start to see those fastest laps come in. Ooh, oh, now Tobes squeezed, can't get past. Slow driver in front of him, fast driver next to him. Tobes, as a result, loses out the position he gained almost immediately. Before he even gets to the next corner, and that's a shame for him, boxed himself in. And Clerpiart is now pitting. Now where is he going to come out of the pit compared to Kexai and the little one? So Pheasantback can get himself another 3 seconds. Up to 6 now. Sprunky up to 9 though. Right, now where is Clerpiart going to come out? He's lost time to his teammate. He's lost in position to Tobes. Sadistic King now gets the fastest lap. Seems the two Renaults are trading them. Someone decided it was 2005. Now, interesting, he's not using the little slipstream he had, but up the inside. Yes, didn't want to let Tobes know he wasn't actually right behind him. Bit of apex parking, nothing he did there was wrong. Tobes just needed to get the cut back some more across the track. So the little one going past the Ferrari. Tobes now gets 3 seconds of penalties. Starting to build up among the field. It's that whole group of them, 5th to 8th. Gonna have to be more careful. Oh, and Captain Nick joins in now. Oh, yeah, an on-board crash, that's right. And, oh, shame, lost some front wing as well. Hopefully that was the game that reset him to track, because if not, that man's been caught live on the stream breaking the rules. Now, he was reversing on the track, so it is possible. Clerpion with an absolute send. Off the track, lost himself time. And probably, yeah, 1, 2, just 2 positions, but still 2 more than you'd want to. Especially when he was looking at the opportunity to even overtake. Side-by-side action now. Big Bull's slotting in behind. He is on some old hard tyres, and really he should be considering going to the soft soon. Unless he's intending to go to the end on those tyres, is a possibility. Not sure how much time you lose in the pits. I'll let him run his own strategy. He's better at it than me, so leave the drivers to what they're good at. Big Bull's another position lost to another speedy driver on the soft tyres. Air Voice not going for an overtake. Clerpion going for another ascend, and this time it works. He stays on the track this time. And actually, because Big Balls could not accelerate because there was a car in front of him, Captain Nick got past. Well, yes, back past. As he was ahead of him. Now, surprisingly, not a single driver retired yet. We had one virtual safety car where Big Balls lost his entire front wing, but apart from that, a very clean race. Of course, I may be speaking too soon, but considering we had 8 retirements last week, certainly a nice change. Now Jay Williams again needs to take the track position he has. Sometimes he does seem to just be too kind. Can understand not wanting to crash when someone gets through and is already second ahead of you, giving them too much space. Clerpion looking for the cutback. Not quite enough speed to get it. Now Real DC also picking up 3 seconds of penalties, considering that man is in second and under threat from the drivers on the softs. That might be a podium position lost for him. Now the little one, this should be a fairly easy overtake for him to do. Being on fresher, softer tyres. Although Dragon's certainly never a driver you can underestimate. Bit of a lock-up by Dragon there. Of course, this sector nice and easy to defend. Just stick your car on the racing line and they can't get past. Dragon, fractionally slower exit there. Unless he uses all his ERS, which actually he doesn't seem to really be doing. But he does stay ahead. How long he can hold that position is another question. Alex closing quickly on Real DC. Actually does not seem to be gaining too much on the leader, which is interesting. Golly doing a good job here. Certainly seems to be without doubt the quickest driver on the track at the moment. Well, the quickest driver around this track. Won't be the quickest on the track due to tyres. Bad choice of words. The route looking to get past some people on the mediums. So Air Voice gets 3 seconds of penalties. It's his first set, but considering he was in amongst other people with penalties, that is going to affect his positions. Could have potentially gained a lot. Positions he did not have on track after the race. No longer able to do that. KXI looking to get past Captain Nick. He's gone up the inside. Captain Nick brakes too late, outbrakes himself, goes wide there. KXI able to get through. Also has the advantage of DRS. Now it looks like 2 drivers have got past. Now is that going to be a double overtake by Club PR? No. I think even if he could have got that move done, he wouldn't have. Would not have been fair on the other driver. Jamie Robertson into the pit lane. He's in last, but looks like he's going to try and nab the fastest lap from whoever has it. Oh, now with 6 seconds of penalties for the little one. Giroux overtaken with Pheasant Plucker. Pheasant Plucker makes it work. Nearly outbrakes himself, doesn't quite. Captain Nick on KXI, both on soft tyres. Captain Nick 1 lap older. Is he going to have too much of an effect at this point of the tyres' life? Bit of wheel banging, but nothing too heavy. Keep it respectful. Oh, rear-ended him. Front wing looked like it stayed intact. Clerpiar getting a better corner than KXI. Clerpiar was one of the last drivers to pit on the mediums, much younger soft tyres. As the laps count down, he'll have the advantage. Also a very clean driver, so not much penalties on him. In fact, none. Whereas all the drivers ahead of him have penalties. Now Alex has got through into second on track. Now if he can get out of the DRS range of Real DC, that gives him a chance to start trying to gain that 5 seconds on Godly Noob. Gaining the second lap is a tall task to ask for. And it looks like fairly soon, as Jamie Robertson gets the fastest lap fairly soon. Godly Noob, I was going to say he'd be behind his teammate, able to draft him, but actually looks like Jamie just wanted fastest lap. Hello Luca. Haven't actually heard of whether or not, did you get banned from this league? I know none of your incidents have been deliberate, but bit of Contact between these two. Nearly lost grip there. Aerovoice can take advantage of that and get past Pheasant Plucker up the inside. Pheasant Plucker on the outside. There we go. That's a pretty hefty punishment, but I guess they can tell that you have good intentions, so yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see you racing soon then. Obviously not in the next 3 races. It's Captain Nick alongside KXO. This will be an interesting corner. Captain Nick absolutely commits perhaps a little too much. He gets through. KXO not giving up that position yet. And Club PR passes both of them. Absolute legend. They're busy fighting, just jumps ahead. We're 3 wide on the main straight. Club PR uses that slipstream, that DRS, takes full advantage of the battle, but of course now he's become part of the battle himself. Club PR, experienced driver. Currently sitting 9th in the championship, not too bad. Seems to certainly be averaging, finishing in the top 10 positions. That is a slow Mercedes. I think that was a mistake by Sprunky. Drivers behind, so if you're gaining on him. Wait, what group is that there? Oh, it's the same group we were just on board with. Yeah, Alex has lowered the gap to Godly Noob, but not enough to gain any positions from it. 2 Renaults braking late. Even Club PR question about a room. Now, was that a front wing I saw? No, that wasn't a piece of front wing I saw. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting battle here. Not too sure anyone will be able to get away. Is that... That is Sprunky retiring into the pit lane. I think he's realised he's not going to get any points. Decided not to finish the race. Actually 2 or 3 laps left. Seems a shame. At least it's the sportsmanship to finish, but... What are we? Oh, you've got a gap week in Catalonia in Monza. Spain's not an amazing Grand Prix. I wouldn't say it's a bad one. Oh wow. Car's getting nice and cuddly here. The 2 Renaults building a wall that Mercedes can't get through. French blocking the English from getting through. I'm sure I've heard a new story about that in the news. Ooh, bit of contact. No permanent damage though, just driver not able to get through. Now Big Bull's on very, very old hard tyres. Just a lap and a half to go, and that is Tobes off track and with a missing... Certainly part of the front wing missing. Godly Noob looks like he's safe home. Just don't want to speak too soon. Looks like he will be getting the win. Second one of the season for him. That's gotta hurt. On the last lap. Oh no. 3, 4, 5, 6 positions dropped after 1 mistake. Ow. He might be able to gain one. The problem is he's an old medium tyres here. He's not really close enough to Big Balls. And all the drivers on soft lining up to get past the Mercedes, who actually managed to get back past one of the Renaults. So well done to him if he can keep that position. And actually he will, because he doesn't have any penalties for himself. Sorry, I missed the front runners crossing the line. So error voice. I think KXI with the next man across the line. Clerpier will finish ahead of him due to that penalty. And we've got Sadistic King. Lots of drivers very close together. Who we've got next? Tobes. So yeah, Godly Noob and Alex getting that 1-2. Alex really did close down that gap in the last few laps, but not enough to get that position back. Now Pimis, Jamie Robson is going to get past Pimis, unless he gets himself a penalty. That'll be him up to 16th. Yep, there we go. Jay Hartnell crossing the line in that last position. So only one driver did not make it to the end, and that was a retirement. Could have made it to the end. Error voice, where did he start? I need to have a look. Well, there we go. Godly Noob with his second win of the season. Qualifying man finally starting to convert some fast qualifying times into good race results. And that'll help him close in on the championship run. Up with the other two up there. But here we go. Although actually, to be fair, he won't close in on Alex too much. Only gained 7 points on him. You can see drivers here. Jamie Robertson with the fastest lap. Plenty of penalties everywhere. So Emma Voice starting 17th. Bringing himself up to 7th position. 10 positions gained for him. 9 gained for Sadistic King. Well done to Godly Noob. Fast throughout qualifying and the race. And we will try and get these top 3 in for a post-race interview. Yeah, well, I mean, shame we kind of missed guys crossing the line at the end, but certainly a close race all the way, the kind of race we want to be seeing. That's a Golly Noob, Alex, and I need to and Real DC with that top 3 positions. Well done to them on their podium. I'll quickly try and get them into a party. Just give me 1 second. Talking to I think you can still hear me while I'm doing all this. Yeah, that was the race. Hopefully it all went, well, say much better than last week, certainly technically wise. Less went wrong. from my point of view, it makes my job much easier. It's just a nice clean race through and through. So again, with that Alfa Romeo getting the win, I'll stick that thing up for display. And hopefully we'll be talking to our drivers soon if they join. And here we go, the man who got second position. Oh, and Godly Noob as well. Congratulations on your podium, guys. Wait. Ah, they're still connecting. Right, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Right, congrats on your podiums. Can I quickly get you guys to check that you have your audio sharing on? I think you've actually all been on podiums before, but better safe than sorry.
Off, so I'll turn it back on.
Yeah, mine's on.
Okay, nice. Right, well, congrats Golly Noob on the win. Very, very quick qualifying, and yeah, converted into a good race as well. Started losing a lot of time to Alex at the end, but managed to hold it off after a good first stint.
Yeah, had to baby my tires home.
Yeah, Alex, were you expecting to catch him on?
Nah, he had like crazy pace, so I was just settling with my P2, pretty happy with that. So yeah, not really.
Well, wait, Colin, what happened in terms of that virtual safety car with Big Balls? So sorry, his front wing was gone and he dropped 9 or so positions. Was that a collision with you?
Nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. He spun on his own.
Right.
Yeah, I was sat in a party with him, and he just lost traction, come out of turn 1.
Yeah. Well, Pheasant Plucker had something similar. I think he finished 13th position, but he was 6 positions up from that, starting the last lap.
Well,
So,
okay.
yeah, he won't be too happy with
I'm
that.
saying he got a 3-second penalty right at the end as well, so
Oh, insult to
it may
injury,
have
yeah.
been corner cutting, so that might have been why.
Well, no, he did spin turn 3, he lost traction,
Oh, he did.
went round. There's a huge group of them, they all got through. But, yeah.
Yeah. Just glad us 3 stayed out that big group. That would have been tough.
DC's on a podium too.
Again, mate. I got the win last week. It's two weeks in a row I'm on the podium. Couldn't be happier.
That's good.
Yeah. Right, well, yeah. Anything else you guys want to comment about the race? Certainly went much smoother than last week in terms of the technical side of it.
Yeah, I'm happy with the. Well, 1 VSC that was it, wasn't it? No safety car. Just a good old racing and Noob just storming off at the start. So.
Man, after I broke the toe, I was so happy.
Yeah, I managed to get up 1 position in lap 1, and then you were gone by then, and that was it. I got to P2, and you were, I think, about 5 seconds ahead of me, and I just had no chance of catching you. Just not a chance.
I almost lost it in turn 1 after I pitted trying to go by Era. It scared the shit out of me. Scared the absolute shit out of me because you were like 2 seconds behind me after it. I was like, oh no, is this it? Am I gonna lose it here?
Yeah, I saw him in front, him being my teammate. I was like, oh, is there going to be a bit of team orders in play here? Is he going to hold you up a little bit? And then you got past him straight away, and I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, so I think, Alex, this extends your championship lead over Dragon. I think actually, Godly, you significantly close your gap 10 points to Dragon, by 10 points to Dragon, so that brings it down to, what, 24? So not too far off him, but helps the top 3 getting closer together somewhat, so looks like it's going to be you 3 battling out for the title.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah. Certainly nice to see Godly, you're improving your race. Pace, craft, whatever you want to call it. Definitely the best qualifier of the season, that's for sure. But
yeah, absolutely.
Today's qualifying, I honestly think that was probably one of my better performances. For that Q3. That shocked me. Shocked me. I know I messed up coming around the last right-hander, and I gained like 2 tenths off of that. and then through the that fast left-hander, and then the S's after that, I gained another like 2/10 on my time. I was not expecting it at all.
Who qualified P2? Was it you, Alex?
No, I was fit. So
Oh, you're fifth. Okay.
It was
Big balls.
in P2, yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Then yeah,
I
Tobes and
just saw
Pheasant.
you two scrapping it out for the top of Q2 when it was raining, and I just knew I had no chance of getting anywhere near those times.
yeah, I probably did my better lap in Q2 to be honest. I got up in Q2.
Yeah.
Right, well, I will let you guys celebrate your podiums, and yeah, good luck for next week. Well, actually, no, next week we're having a break week, so good luck for 2 weeks' time, which is around Spain, Catalonia.
Cool. Thanks very much.
Spain. Fuck yeah.
Take care,
Rain.
boys.
All right. Yeah, take care, everyone.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Right, well, there we go. Our 3 guys up on the podium. Again, good results. Same guys we're seeing up there. Godly Noob, Alex, and Real DC. These are the guys who are in 1st, 3rd, and 5th in the championship. So amongst those top 5, they're getting most of the podiums. So, of course, that's what you expect it to be, but yeah. Alex extending his lead over Dragon, with Godly Noob closing in on the 2 of them. So that might be our 3 drivers battling it out for that championship win. Now Tobes actually wasn't too far off Godly Noob, and with him finishing, when did he finish? 14th. That drops him, yeah, a lot of positions down. Where he was 5 points behind, that now increases to 43 points behind Godly Noob. So it seems his chances of keeping up. Of course, we are only halfway through the season, so plenty more of the season still to come. Are we halfway through? 8 out of 15. There isn't halfway through, but yeah. This is the middle race. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in 2 weeks' time at Spain.